The story begins with the image of banners hanging everywhere on the walls, motivating students to strive. Have you ever bet your life on this life? There are only 25 days left until the college entrance exam. This exam is only taken once. Passing it means reaching the top. Suddenly, a panicked look rose to those words. I stammered, I'm back before the college entrance exam. Then he sat up suddenly and shouted, no way. Those near him also startled and looked down. This place is class 127 of Hanqing No. 1 High School, SIA Kingdom. Jia kept holding his head and shouting in despair. What an unfair life, what kind of horror story is this? If I wanted to be reborn, they should have at least let me do it after I entered college. They know how hard I worked in my past life, and now they want me to repeat all of this. B. While he was confused, his brain began to update the information of this world. Since ancient times, mankind in Wangxin has had to face a catastrophe, the invasion of the secret realms. The secret realms are connections to other worlds. Within them dwell terrifying demonic beasts. These creatures often take advantage of the cracks in the secret realms to invade the human world. Some demonic beasts are so powerful that they can destroy entire nations, threatening all human civilization. To fight them, mankind developed the demonic beast gene system, injecting these genes to awaken monster models and unlock genetic talents. Only warriors with these abilities can protect human civilization. This has caused the status and privileges of warriors to far exceed those of ordinary people. Wanjin entered an era where warriors are supreme. Among all classes, only the martial way is the highest. At that time, some advertisements appeared similar to a system that every reborn person has. After the introduction, the protagonist Jia merges with the body of a high school student who is preparing to become a warrior. The memories are then implanted. After taking it all in for a while, the protagonist finally understands the situation. He holds his head. Linny, I'm a high school student. Hearing him mumbling non-stop, the students at the nearby desks immediately scoff. Look, Jia, the useless one, had a nightmare again. Ha ha ha. That piece of trash is also planning to take the college entrance exam. The girl upstairs in pink clothes, noticing the commotion, also turned around. With an expression full of contempt, he sarcastically blurted out. You should drop out of school and go home, you scum. Go work as a laborer in the underworld or hide at home and wait for death. Hearing those words, Jia felt a little annoyed. He sighed and muttered, indeed, in every bullying story there is always a leader of the group. Then, not bothering to respond to the girl in the pink dress, he fell into a pensive state. Apparently, the reputation of the original owner of this body was not very good in the classroom. It all started when his parents were involved in an accident during their sophomore year of high school. Since then, the original owner was unable to concentrate on his training, and his grades, which were once quite good, plummeted like stocks in crisis, becoming dead weight for the entire class. So that was it. Seeing him still standing there unresponsive, the girl in the pink dress got angry and yelled, "What are you looking at? This is a martial arts class. Do you want to fight or what?" Ian didn't answer her, made an annoyed face and thought to himself, what the hell am I going to look at? I'm just reflecting. The original owner didn't study, but the one who suffers now is me. TCH. This is like being despised by everyone. My heart is beating like crazy. I'm going to die. At that moment, a bald professor raised his voice. Are you ready? It's time to inject the genetic modification serum. Trust yourselves. These 3 years of physical training and martial practice were for this day. Then he adjusted his glasses and looked disapprovingly toward Yai and added, for those who still don't take it seriously. Seeing the teacher looking at him, Jia just smiled at him as if he was paying attention, but in his heart he muttered, really, the one who didn't study was the original? No, me, why should I feel guilty? Then he put on a mischievous expression and said to himself, but well, since of this body, I might as well leave everything neat and tidy. Change of scene, the genetic injection auditorium of Anqing No. 1 High School. In front of all the students were 4 suitcases neatly placed on the stage. Underneath, the students began to comment excitedly. What do you think, which model of monster will I wake up? Maybe it will be a grade 3 mountain monkey or a grade 4 sea dragon. The one next to me answered with a laugh. I bet you'll be a grade 1 stinky centaur. Ha ha ha. The professor began to open the suitcases containing the gene activation serum. Inside were dozens of solated test tubes that looked state-of-the-art. The professor began to explain, although everyone already knew the information, this is the gene activation serum. It contains primogene genes collected from all recorded demonic beasts. After the injection, the body will randomly absorb one of these awakening genes. The stronger the body, the higher the level of the awakening gene. Do not be nervous. After the injection, stay calm and receive the power. I will call out your names. When you hear yours, come forward to receive the injection. Fei Miao Yuan. The bald professor's words were followed by a series of injections. Then came the screams, the struggles. Some tried to resist, others gasped and clutched their necks, and there were even some who passed out from the pain. Watching this scene, I could not help but feel a certain uneasiness. After the injection, they look really strange and it hurts a lot. It seems that this is not easy to get. And then, without thinking twice, she forcefully stuck the needle into her neck and shouted, "Okay, I'll do it anyway, all or nothing." After the serum was injected, Yai still felt nothing and opened his eyes with a surprised expression. Seeing him like that, the teacher approached him with an elegant tone and said, "Jia, looks like nothing has changed, huh?" Yai also looked puzzled, looked at him in disbelief, and replied, "Teacher, I think I got a fake injection." At that moment, the girl in the pink dress took the opportunity to approach and tease him. "Ha! Look, it seems that Yai hasn't woken up at all." He turned around startled to look at her. She then raised her hand and touched his face mockingly as she said, "Trash. A warrior who doesn't wake up is like a bird without wings. Jia, you're finished. Huh, just like you wanted, right? You'd better go home and wait for death." Although she mocked endlessly, Yai's attitude clearly showed that he was full of rage. He thought to himself. This wretch, she is the ringleader bullying me, no doubt about it. But suddenly Yi's whole body began to show strange signs. His heart began to beat at a frantic pace, as if it was about to explode. He felt as if his body was being shaken by a storm. Gritting his teeth, he muttered in anguish, "Wait, this feeling." A system notification appeared in front of him in Yai's field of vision. "Have you unlocked the infinite monster model? Owner. Physical constitution, overall composition, martial arts level 9. Mastered techniques, Lon Ganig Gon. Genetic lottery result, infinite monster model." Up until that moment, everything seemed calm, but suddenly, Yai's body shrank in front of the girl in the pink dress. Leaning forward with difficulty, he shouted, "Why are you accusing me without knowing anything? Just because I didn't wake up like the others, do you think I'm pretending?" At that moment, Yai could barely speak, forcing each word out between gasps. "You should run." The girl sneered even more with a contemptuous tone. "What are you talking about? Run. Why?" But as Yai fought to keep control of her body, it seemed she could no longer. Her eyes glowed brightly, his breathing was ragged, and her body began to radiate a blinding energy. With great effort, he said between gasps, "If they don't run now, it will be too late." And just then, a bestial transformation erupted from Yai's small body. His true form manifested, a robust body with a physique similar to that of a giant gorilla. Everything around him was flooded with a violent and powerful energy. Anyone nearby was blown away by the unleashed power. And he didn't understand why his body was undergoing such a brutal change. She continued to scream as her true form, the gorilla, also opened its mouth, releasing a shock wave that shook the entire room. All the students who were in the same room with Yai were thrown into the air, unable to stand in the face of such a force. The chaos caused everyone to hug each other in confusion. What the hell was that? What a brutal force. Who woke up? What kind of power is this? It's unbearable. The commotion caught the attention of the prodigy student, a girl who had awakened with a fire-type system. She turned to look at the scene with a serious and suspicious expression. The student top parent, who had awakened with the ice system, also turned around uneasily, muttering to himself. Someone stronger than me. At that moment, the Y system triggered a message. You have unlocked Monster Model A, Wild Fury Gorilla. Bloodline ability, Fierce Infestation, Thermal Respiration, Shockwave. Core Absorption. Evolutionary Form. Gorilla Fire King. Fully unlocked when compatibility reaches 100%. Current compatibility 3%. Yai's entire body was trembling intensely. He tried to hold his arm tightly to steady himself and murmured. A Grade A model. Gorilla of Wild Fury. Infinite Monster Model. He looked at the palm of his hand, which was glowing with spiritual energy. Every cell radiated light, so much that it even emitted smoke. Astonished, he exclaimed, could it be that this is a special system granted to me? Those companions who had always looked down on him, now seeing him at his peak, couldn't believe what they were witnessing. One stammered, that useless guy from before is him. The boy beside him was also stunned. Just his aura had sent everyone around him flying. Both of them looked at Wanton Dawn, the girl in the pink dress who always bullied Jia. She lay motionless on the ground with her eyes rolled back. One of them exclaimed, Wang Danong is knocked out. And that was even though she had awakened as a Grade 2 fire chameleon. More voices whispered nervously. What the hell did he awaken? The commotion was superhuman. After witnessing the brutal power Yai unleashed, all those classmates who used to mock him now lowered their heads, trembling with fear. But Yai, completely innocent, just scratched his head with an awkward smile. Sorry. Okay, I think I made too much of a fuss. I told them to step aside, but they didn't listen to me. Just then, the school's loudspeaker system announced, the activation injection time is over. All students who have awakened must immediately proceed to the assessment building to identify their demon beast gene and martial cultivation level. Repeating. Everyone must move. Scene change. In the large assessment building, there were all kinds of advanced devices for scanning genetic breakthroughs. This equipment could determine the type of demon beast gene and the martial power level. Students entered one by one, and the results began to show. Linen from our class awakened with the three-winged rapid wind lineage, someone shouted excitedly. Murmurs immediately erupted. How lucky. He used to be just average, now he's the strongest in the class. Such a powerful lineage, that's really unfair. The result of another student was then announced. Everyone read it and began to comment. Suisu really is number 1 in the course. Not only is he at level 9 of martial arts, but he also awakened a supreme grade 3 ice demon dragon. And Cheng City's champion title is definitely going to be his. But he wasn't the only one drawing attention, a beautiful girl also awakened an extremely rare ability. The crowd was buzzing with comments. Hey, take a good look. The young Miss Lu also reached the 9th level. What ability did she awaken? It's grade 4, none other than the underworld dark bird. A TRNG million in grade 4 demon beasts. If she reveals her true form, she could destroy half the city. An ordinary warrior is nothing more than an ant in front of her. Only supreme masters could face that. Meanwhile, Jia still hadn't passed the evaluation. He was standing below, looking at the testing area with his hand on his chin, pondering. Everyone's monster models are classified by grade 3 CU. Why is mine rank A? Suddenly, the loudspeaker system blared. Next. Class 12-7 and J dash, he froze. Huh, they had to say my full name like that. How embarrassing. After the impressive display of power before, Jia became the focus of everyone's attention and hope. Everyone watched him with admiration and awe. Down below, the students formed 2 rows, chatting excitedly. Such a powerful shockwave, he's definitely going to become someone big. We should befriend him now, right? Go, the god, the god. It's Jia's turn already. With that power from before, his level definitely isn't low. Incredible. The more praise Jia received, the more pressure he felt. Only he knew the truth. His talent was of a murmured rank. This world really worships the strong. Passing through the shouts of his teammates, Y entered directly into the evaluation room. He walked with a firm step, his expression completely calm. Outside, the male students kept cheering. Yes. Everyone was betting that Yi would uphold the name of Class 127. It wouldn't be just any skill, that's for sure. How brutal. What kind of lineage is that, after awakening, can emit such a monstrous aura? This time and Chen is really going to shine. From afar, a silhouette watched silently. They didn't seem very hopeful. Their gaze was cold and unfriendly as they saw everyone praising Jia. They thought to themselves, so, that's Jia. Interesting. Definitely worth watching. A moment later, Y's information profile appeared immediately, but it only contained basic data. The other fields were marked as undetermined. Everyone present was left speechless upon seeing the results. Immediately, heated discussions began. What? Y from Class 127? He's only a level 3 warrior and the demonic beast lineage is unidentified. Level 3 warrior. Yeah. My younger brother in middle school could beat him too. What a disgrace. We pinned our hopes on the wrong person. Everyone was laughing their heads off, mercilessly crushing Yi's reputation. Unidentified lineage. That definitely means he has nothing. Yeah, a level 3 warrior with strong lineage. What a joke, yesterday was just one big fart. In the end, Y is still just a lump of clay that won't stick to the wall. Amidst the laughter and mockery, Jia walked out alone, his shadow stretching long behind him. There's no hope left on his face, he muttered. The gorilla wasn't detected, but the infinite monster model was already activated. The system had revealed an instruction to him earlier. He could level up the model if he completed missions that increased his reputation. That would allow him to get new draw opportunities to unlock more monster models. Although his current model has no ranking within the conventional system, this was something only Yi understood. He pondered, and then let out a strange chuckle. Soon after, the protagonist's face lit up with a Machiavellian, calculating, and sinister expression. He looked at his own hands while muttering with overflowing excitement. If I can meet the conditions, I'll be able to hold unlimited monster model draws. Then, wouldn't I be the king of monsters? The next morning, at Hanqing No. 1 High School, the sun was shining brightly. It was a beautiful day. A teacher with a serious expression was holding a large cup of coffee. He turned around to scold a student. So you want to take a break and only come back when it's time for the university entrance exam, Yi? Instead, the student appeared enthusiastic and determined. He took a firm step forward, spread his legs, clenched his fists, and said loudly, "Teacher, I really want to improve." The teacher glanced at him sideways, without much sympathy, and asked like this. And he continued with determination. "I know I have many gaps in my knowledge. If I don't undergo special training, I won't be able to catch up with the others." The teacher maintained a very serious and stern attitude as he replied, "Yi, you know, if you want to become a warrior, the only way is to enter university. I know you have awakened a lineage, but your foundation is too weak. You won't pass the entrance exam. It's better to prepare to repeat the next year. Don't rush. Faced with those harsh words, Yai activated his plea ability with bright eyes full of hope and sincerity. He said fervently, "Professor, the sooner we act, the more progress we make. You might not know this, but I awakened an extremely powerful lineage. I just need to train with dedication, and I will undoubtedly have it. Please, look into my sincere eyes. I would never lie." The professor, seeing how Jia pleaded with all his soul, finally softened, clicked his tongue, and muttered, Yes, those eyes are truly sincere. Fine, okay, I won't hold you back any further, but remember to register with me again next year to prepare." Scene change. In the Hanqing Martial Center, Jia walked alone along a wide avenue, lost in thought. The house my parents left can be mortgaged for 600,000. Added to the accident compensation, I have over 1 million. I already have a decent amount of capital. Currently, if I want to increase my strength, I have 2 options. 1. Improve my warrior level. 2. Increase compatibility with the Savage Fury Gorilla model. Recalling the information from the system, he reflected, oblivious to his surroundings. According to the Infinite Monster Model System, each model starts with 1% compatibility. But the Savage Fury Gorilla started with 3%. Where did the extra 2% come from? There was only one possible answer. The model absorbed the power from the genetic activation serum, granting it an additional 2%. This proved that the world's genetic serums could increase the power of the models. Compared to arduous martial training, investing money to increase compatibility was more suitable for him. After thinking this, his face lit up with excitement. And he already had a clear goal. I have to buy enhancement genetic serum as soon as possible. Upon arriving at the center, Jay scanned his student card to enter. Right after passing through security, his expression suddenly changed. He opened his eyes wide, astonished and frightened. In front of him, everyone present was surrounded by a dense aura of awakened energy. They were all warriors with active bloodlines. Shocked, Jay exclaimed, "This place is full of warriors who have already awakened their bloodlines." Since he awakened the Savage Fury Gorilla model, he had gained a special ability. He could emit a gorilla vital field that allowed him to detect nearby life signs. He could clearly feel the blood boiling like lava in their bodies and the roar of the beasts in their bloodlines. In that instant, Jia felt more than just excitement. A devilish smile spread across his face. His eyes gleamed with spiritual energy as he murmured, "Warriors, demonic beasts, I can no longer suppress my desire to fight. Heh heh heh. After all, the Savage Fury Gorilla is the king of monsters in this world. He is an emperor who desires to conquer every living creature on the planet, and unable to contain himself, he shouted, Too bad I'm still weak now. I can only let the gorilla ancestor fight for me, but when I grow up, I will show this world what it means to be the true king of the monsters." While he was enthusiastically immersed in his future plans, suddenly someone tapped him on the shoulder from behind. "Gie, hey you." That gesture and the look Yai gave, something penetrating and serious, made a beautiful girl dressed very provocatively misunderstand everything. She took off her sunglasses and winked at him with a bold smile. "You shouldn't be secretly staring at people like that, you know." Jia turned around surprised and immediately understood that she had misunderstood him. He got nervous and replied, "Sorry, that wasn't my intention." The girl, very calm and carefree, responded, "It's okay. You probably just awakened your demon beast lineage and still don't fully control your abilities. What brings you to the Martial Center?" Jia answered immediately. "I came to buy genetic serum, but this place is so big I can't find the store. Could you please show me the way?" She also seemed quite willing. "You already want to use genetic serum at this stage?" Jia, a little confused, asked, "Is there something I should know about?" In front of him, that woman with an explosive figure did not hesitate to explain frankly. "Not much, just that the genetic serum is very expensive and can also cause resistance if used frequently. Its effectiveness decreases over time." Hearing that and seeing how relaxed she was about it, Yai felt a bit of nervous respect. The girl was as open as her appearance suggested. She waved her hand and continued. To get the maximum effect, warriors usually wait until their lineage is at its limit before using it. Jia, still a little clueless, asked, "And how much does a vial cost?" The woman, very natural, raised 4 fingers and answered enthusiastically. At your stage, you can only use basic booster serum. It costs about 400,000. Hearing that figure, the protagonist felt his soul leave his body. In a state of total emotional crisis, he murmured, "It's too expensive. Not even with all my savings is it enough for 5 vials." Embarrassed, he dared to ask, "Do you know anyone who could give me a discount?" After thinking for a moment, the woman leaned slightly toward him and handed him a business card. Ada. The movement made her physical attributes shake intensely. She said, "Here, take my card. If you say I recommended you, they'll give you a discount." Jia couldn't help but think. What a good person inside and out. Jay gladly accepted the card and left excitedly, waving goodbye. "Thank you, sister. Thank you very much." The girl also responded kindly. "See you, boy. See you later." A good person from start to finish. At that moment, Jia was feeling very tense because what came next was burning money at the Marshall Hospital. He was standing at the hospital counter waiting his turn to pay. Genetic serum 500,000, weapons shop 250,000, and just like that his money was flying away mercilessly. A true orgy of reckless spending. In the blink of an eye, it was already night. Scene change. Back in the protagonist's apartment. Yi was sitting, cultivating intensely. His whole body seemed to be burning from the dense spiritual energy that enveloped him. Despite the pain and discomfort, Jia endured for supreme power. System. Savage Fury Gorilla Monster Mode. Compatibility 3% 4%. Compatibility 4% 7%. Owner G, Total Physical Constitution, Level 8, 10, 15. Warrior Rank. Early stage of the 5th level. After a long and painful session using the serum, his entire body was drained of energy. And he stretched out his arms, soaked in sweat and gasping for air. That incredible feeling of leveling up. The first bottles increased constitution by 2 points each, but the last one only added 1. Clearly, the stronger you get, the harder it is to keep improving. Even so, Y was ecstatic with happiness. He looked at his own pale hands, completely radiating inside. It's getting harder and harder to get stronger, but that's okay. In just a few minutes I did what would take 3 years of hard training. And this is just the basic physical body. If I activate the gorilla ancestor's bloodline, then even in the national valedictorian exam I can compete. If I have a hack and can't even surpass the geniuses, it would be a complete waste. And he shouted with determination. Time to set off for the secret realm. The secret realms are ranked from level S to level E. The higher the level, the more powerful the demonic beasts. In the S-level secret realms, humans cannot exert control. If they were to leak into the real world, it would be a total catastrophe. Scene change. Han Cheng's secret realm number 3. Level E Jia. Armed to the teeth, he arrived at the site, looked around and murmured, "There are fewer people than I imagined. Maybe because it's an old realm. It was explored a long time ago. All the treasures must have been looted. Only weak beasts remain for newbies to train." While walking calmly, he came across an access control desk. He approached and said, "Hello, I booked a ticket to enter secret realm number 3. The woman in charge of access hardly paid attention as she processed Yai's entry. Without much enthusiasm, she handed him the death risk waiver and said, "Here is your entry." And so a simple procedure was completed. The gate to the secret realm appeared before Yai. Standing in front of it, he couldn't help feeling nervous. This is the secret realm rift. Immediately after, his expression became cunning and mocking. Jie grinned, baring all his teeth in a malicious laugh. This is the beginning of the king of monsters. Ha! Without hesitation, he jumped in full of excitement and dove forcefully through the rift. Here I go. At the moment he passed through the secret realm portal, the three-dimensional world changed completely. It was as if he had passed through the ozone layer onto another planet. Jia landed smoothly, with an agile fall, landing on one knee like a true expert. From this secret realm you could clearly see other nearby planets, something impossible on Earth. There were the planets Lan, and Antaean, all visible from the sky of the realm. As he quickly adjusted his equipment, Yai observed the surroundings and murmured, although I already knew about it from textbooks, seeing it with my own eyes is something else. It's impressive. As he marveled at the new planet and even the whole universe visible in the distance, something was stealthily moving behind him. A red rabbit was approaching, letting out soft squeaks. It looked adorable, but when Jia saw its face, it was anything but cute. It had 2 long fangs and bristly fur. It was a grade 1 demonic beast, the burrowing rabbit. Taking advantage of a moment when Yai was distracted, the creature leaped with fangs as sharp as swords and a large amount of dark energy attacking from behind. But nothing is that easy. Yai, sensing the danger thanks to the model's life field, dodged with agility and caught its long ears effortlessly. With cold eyes, he crushed the rabbit without mercy. Did you really think I didn't feel your presence? The system clearly shows me the vital fluctuations of the beasts. From the shadows, Yai crushed the mutated rabbit's head in an instant. He finished it off as if it was nothing. Soon after, there was only a spirit gem left. He picked it up, examined it carefully. A magic core. Burrowing rabbit. Normal quality. Market value about 1.00. Not too bad. I just entered and already made 1.00. An average civilian would have to work a whole month to earn 3.000 or 4.00. Calmly, he raised the shining gem to admire it, but then reflected. Although collecting first-grade beast cores is fine, they're not very useful. The best would be to hunt second-grade beasts and above. Just then, something moved again behind him. A soft-bodied creature emerged from the ground like a giant worm. The thing was 100 times bigger than Yai. It opened its huge mouth full of teeth and lunged at him. A second-grade demonic beast, corpse sea worm. A sight as grotesque as it was fascinating. Yai grew more and more excited. Quickly, he unsheathed his sword with a provocative crooked smile. Exactly. I get just what I want.